Hello everybody, this is Simeonski. Welcome to another Rec Room tutorial. In this one, I'm gonna explain to you one of the mechanics that I used in my games and also show you how you can build this mechanic into your game step by step. Today I will show you how to create a working video camera with a projection screen in Rec Room. It's a pretty new feature, so you will have to go to your Maker pen or to your room and activate beta features. But actually, to do it is pretty easy. So we will go step by step. What you will be looking for is actually the new components that are called texture. So what this will do, there's some different texture components. What we want to use here is the texture quad, which is the screen basically. I will put this somewhere here in the room. So this will be our screen. Then we will need a texture quad set component. Put this next to it. So this will set what is on the screen. And then, yeah, that's all we need with texture now. And then we have new image components. Image. So let's look through these. And you will have to use the snap camera image. I will put this over the top of this. Okay. So what does this do? This does nothing yet, but this is a component that will take an image from a camera, and it's actually just taking it from a camera perspective. So to test this now, I will be adding a button. This is the easiest way to test it always. Why is it not working? Just put a button somewhere so you can check if it's working. And then what we want to do here is we snap a camera image. Then after it's been snapped from this position, we will put it into the texture quad. So connect this texture quad component here with the target here. And then we will have to add a texture. Right now it's needing this component to save the texture. So we will go back to our settings, texture, look for the texture constant, and basically just have this constant here, connect it to both. So what it's doing now, I press this now. Okay, you can see what is happening here. First, it's getting the camera image. It's actually not, we don't have to put a camera anywhere. You basically it's taking it from these variables, which is just a point in the room. You don't need to put anything there. You can change these by hand. But of course, that's very complicated. I wouldn't suggest you to do that. But we will you change it in another way, which is really easy to do. And then it sends it to this texture constant, and then it goes here, sets this frame that is connected here with this constant. Basically, it's taking the image from this constant, and you can even put it into other into multiple screens you could have in the room. It doesn't have to be just this one, or you can also just you can play around a lot with this, but what I want to do right now is basically make a little camera that you can move around and film what is happening, and it will be shown on this screen over there. So the easiest way to get the camera, I already got some free camera thing from the store. You can of course make your own or use a different one. This doesn't do anything yet, but it's basically a camera that is grabbable. How do we get the image from this camera to there? Also super easy. We can work here with our vector component, which we had pretty often. So take the vector, put it in front of this lens where the camera should be facing. So I think we will try. I'm not sure if it's this way around, if it has to go, if the arrow has to go inside or outside. But I think it has to be this way around. So the arrow points actually away from what we will be seeing. And we only need a so-called clamp. And don't use this clamp, it's not working well. Use this old clamp here. And what we want to do is basically want to put the clamp next to the camera. Don't put it directly on the camera, because then you might see the thing. And then we connect the vector to the top and the camera itself to the center of the gizmo. And this should already do the trick. We should be able to move the camera around now. And what you see is that with the camera, the arrow is also moving around because it's inside the camera. So if you would want to have a display, for example, you could use this display as well, put it here, put it on the clamp, and then the display will also stay on your camera. But I will not do this right now, because you have to be a little bit careful with this. It might break the game for some people that visit your room, because it's very intensive, it's very new. So I just want to show you how this is working. So the next step will be that we are connecting this vector component to give us the values of this vector. And therefore I will just put set, and then go to one value we want to have is the set position. No, not set position, get position, of course, from the vector get. You don't need to set anything. Position. Okay, I will put this in front of here. And this would be the camera position. And then we have the camera rotation, which we want to get. And there we have the same. We just go to get rotation as well. And get both the position and the rotation from this vector. Take it from the top, not from the bottom, and connect these two things here. And then we just have to put the position here and the rotation here. And now you can see if I turn around the camera like this and push the button, it's actually changing the view. And what you see here now is that I got it wrong, which is actually good. So the vector actually has to point in the direction that the picture will be. Oh. And now you see you can move this around and take a snap. But what we want to do is we want to have a working camera, not just this button thing. It's super easy to do this as well. We just need an event receiver. Basically, put it instead of the button. We will use the event receiver. So I can delete this button. And you have two choices now. I will, because I'm in the room alone now, this will work easily. I will use the 30 Hz update and just connect, instead of the button, I will connect the event receiver. And now what we will see is that it updates every like third of a second or something like that. And so I can take this camera now, move it around, and you will see it's actually showing what I'm filming there on the screen. So if you want to be safe for having it for many people, and maybe it's not so important for you that it's always shown live on time, like you can see it here. Then you can change the update frequency to 1 Hz, which means it's sending out a signal every 1 second. So the picture of it will not look as good. You see, it's only updating every 1 second. But of course, this will be good for the performance of this. This will be better for the performance of this system. And of course, you can play around with it and test other ways of using it. I think there's a lot of use cases for this thing. One thing you could, for example, do, let me turn this, disconnect this for now so it's not updating. So, for example, in this case, now of course this is in the way a little bit, but this will not be shown. I just turned on the components now. This will not be shown in normal things. It will have like that. And for example, you could also now do something. Of course, you can also do a lot of settings here. Let's see. You can change the size of the picture, like in the texture component, and in the quad component you can also change some things over here. You have to select the screen directly. And then, as you can see, you can change aspect ratio, make it transparent a little bit or something like that. This will probably take a lot of... You can sync it. So you have some small settings. You can even make it climbable or something like that. It's basically like a frame that you would use for canvas or something like that. But what I want to try now as well, not sure if that works, but you can of course also just make it smaller, like that. Put it a little bit, okay. Yeah, this is just as an example, so I will not fit this perfectly now, as you can see. But yeah, this could be also your screen. So if you just put it there, let's see if this works, and then connect it. So connect the screen also to the top of that clamp as well. And put on the 30 Hz. Again, this should be your screen. And as you can see now, you can move around, have this as screen. And of course you can have multiple screens in here. You can have your one screen on here. Of course it's not fitting very well now, but you see how it works. You can change the aspect ratio that it fits actually exactly the screen, and so you have a little screen. And of course you can have multiple outputs. So you can have your little screen here that you see what other people see, and also have a big screen over there as well, which will take a lot of power from the room. So be careful with using this, but it's cool that it's working. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like and subscribe the video if you liked it, or leave a comment. You can also leave comments on what you want to see more on this channel. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.